Hi, I'm Stavros. Good morning and welcome to another truck video. And look what I have for you today, a brand new Renault T High. So I'm really looking forward to showing you all around this truck. We'll have a look at the exterior first, then we'll hop inside and have a look at all the interior features. Plenty to show you inside this cab, and it also features the flat floor on the interior. And then we'll be getting hooked underneath a trailer and taking it on a test drive and see how it performs. Yeah, let's go. So let's have a good look around the Renault T High range. So not looking too bad today. Here finished in white eclat, that is the exterior colour, and they are so much more higher up than the normal T range from Renault. But the T High does look quite well. I like the looks of it. Not a bad piece of design. So let's just move in here because I want to show you some additional extras that have been added to this truck. So you'll notice straight away we have two spot lamps up there, and they are sitting on that light bar, which is then fitted with 5 LEDs. And then we have the T High sign in between them. So they all light up nicely at night. And we have the additional air horns, 2 of them sitting up on the roof. They are covered in to stop all the dirt and dust getting into them. And also the sun visor above the windscreen and the matching mirrors to match in with the white eclat paintwork. Now you're probably going to hear a lot of wind today because it is very windy. But they are nicely designed headlamps. They are halogen headlamps, but the indicators and the daytime running lamps are LED. So nice to have your LED feature. And the headlamps, as I said, are halogen. And we have our fog lamp there underneath. And we have this light bar underneath the front bumper for extra protection. So yeah, there are 7 LEDs fitted to that light bar. So let's just open up the step area here. There are 2 steps, so you can stand on them and clean your windscreen just by grabbing the handles. And the windscreen itself does have a nice curve to it. You'll see it there for aerodynamics. So nicely done here from Renault. So we can pop them back up very easy and open up our grille. Very easy to open that. So you see our coolant bottle, you can see through that. That I always like to see. And over here we have our windscreen washer bottle, and we can top up our oil here. So there is no outside dipstick. That is situated underneath the cab. So let's have a peek in there at the Volvo engine. That is your inline 6-cylinder diesel engine from Volvo, fitted with the OptiDriver gearbox, which is also from Volvo. Now you'll remember from the Renault Premium we had a small little spot lamp that was fitted up here behind the grille, but there is none on the T High. So sad to see that not featured, but let's just close that up and walk around and check out the Alcoa Aluminium Wheels, your Dura-Bright wheels. So that is a lower profile super single tyre there. So we have 385 55 profile tyre sitting on those 22.5 inch Alcoa aluminium wheels, as I said. Always looking well. Let's have a quick peek in there underneath the arch. All the little components. So yeah, let's just move and give you a look at the mirror design. So of course we have our blind spot mirror there, and one just on top of the windscreen, and the big mirror and the wide angle mirror on top. Now it would be nice to see some more space between that big mirror and the pillar. I'll show you that when we hop into the cab. And moving over here, you can see we have T480 Comfort Renault Trucks, that badge on the side. So we have 2 lockers, one on that side and one above it, and we have 2 on the driver's side. I'll show you them shortly. So we have our 2 steps up onto the catwalk. We have a 550 litre diesel tank on the left side, and on the right side we have a 240 litre diesel tank, so 790 litre diesel capacity. So quite decent enough range you'll get from the Renault. So yeah, we have a full air deflector kit, keeping things aerodynamic against your trailer, and all our Suzies of course, and we have an additional electrical socket there as well. So good to see that. And we have our mid-lift and those Alcoa aluminium wheels, as I said, always looking good. And we have LEDs there on the rear, and I can turn them back on. So there we go. You see your LEDs, and we have aluminium air tanks, and our batteries are situated underneath that cover. Let's just have a look into the back axle. There are 2 airbags on the back of this axle, so no 4 airbags. So it won't be as comfortable as an awful lot of other trucks with 4 airbags, but there you go. So let's just move around and give you a look at that second fuel tank, as I said. And up here we have a 63 litre AdBlue tank. So that is what's featured on your Euro 6 Renault T High. So yeah, a very handy feature as well on the remote control. Let me just get it out here. So we have normally lock, unlock, and we can turn on our lamps as I showed you. But this feature here is the park mode, as Renault call it. So if you press on this, it will not only lock the doors, but it will also close the windows, and it will open the battery isolator. So a very good feature to have, your park mode function from Renault on the remote. So let's just open back up the doors and open it up. So we have our 4 steps leading up into the cab, and you'll remember I showed you this handle before. Very handy for the kids when they're climbing up. Just gives them easy access to get into the cab. And our doors there, so we have 4 loudspeakers in the cab and 2 tweeters, so you should get good sound out of them. And our door handle, of course, and storage there on the door's pocket. So yeah, let's just open up the little locker area here. So we have a small one there underneath, very handy for keeping all your smelly equipment, so you won't smell up your cab with that feature. And let's just open the top locker. So there is a smaller one on the driver's side, there is a bigger one on the passenger side, but that is how the locker looks on the T High. So let's just close that up. And you could nearly use this as a canopy for standing under. I'm 6'2" and I still have 4 inches above my head, so you could nearly stand in out of the rain underneath that. Very good. So let's just climb up into the cab, because plenty to show you in this cab. So left foot first and climb up, nice and easy to do. So you see the full leather there on these are Recaro seats. So a great piece of design from them, and you won't sweat too much in them. You see the way they are designed on the seat back there, and the headrest, all nicely done, and a nice colour as well. It's kind of a deep brown, deep burgundy. It kind of lights up differently under different lighting conditions, but yeah, it's kind of brown when you look at it in dark light, and then almost a burgundy in bright light. But they are very nice Recaro seats, and also you see the steering wheel fitted with the same leather. But yeah, let's just walk into the cab, in out of the wind. So that is a nice comfortable bunk. I lay on it, so not too bad for comfort. And over here we have our night heating function. Now the great thing about this also is when you have all your lamps on in the cab, just one touch there and it turns off all the interior lamps. So great to have that. And over here we have some storage there. You can store some cups there. And let me just open up this. Very easy to do. We have storage in there and also in there. And we have our fridge. So this has an electric lock on it. You'll hear it there. And we can open up that fridge. So we have our 40-litre fridge there. So decent space in that. And click it back in and we can gain access to the outside locker from underneath the bunk as well. So let's just close that up. And you'll see we have our 2 more speakers there as well. So I'm just going to fold down the top bunk, which is very easy to do just by clipping that, and we can fold that down. Now you'll notice underneath here I can click on that, so I'm better off demonstrating it with both hands, okay? So look, I can pull the lever underneath the bunk, slide it out, fold it in half, and look at this, you can store equipment in here on your bunk, and then it won't fall out. So that is a great piece of design from Renault. Really like that feature. And then you can pull the lever again, slide it in and lift it up, and it clips in there very easy. And then we have a ladder here. We can take that out and use it for climbing up onto our top bunk. So yeah, it's all very nicely done here from Renault. And we can fold that down. It's so easy to do. Yeah, I really like that now. Great work from Renault. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the lockers here. So they are your 3 lockers above the windscreen, and they all have their own individual lamp lighting them up. So good storage in them. And this particular one in the middle is lockable. So good to have that, and more storage in there. We have 2 of these reading lamps, one for the passenger and driver. We have 2 of these lamps, one at either side. And up there on the ceiling, those 2 LED lamps really do light up the cab well at night. It's almost like you're at home. There's so much light out of them. But we have a tilt function, and we can open up our sunroof about 2/3 of the way. And we also have a fly net, which is very good. So let's close that back up. Very easy to do from the switch on the dashboard, and let it lock into place. Now you can pull that little net down, and it clips into your top bunk. That's just to stop all your bed linen popping out, and maybe even stop you from falling out from the top bunk. Okay, so sitting in the driver's seat now, you can kind of see my line of vision out through the left side. It would be good to have a bit more space in between that mirror and the pillar here, but the space up here is pretty good. I just want more space down there, if that could be possible. But anyway, the windscreen is pretty good visibility out of that. If I pull up this cover here, that is how you access your fuses underneath there. So yeah, the dashboard design, pretty nicely done. Very easy to access all your different functions on the wheel and over here on the dashboard. I'll go down through those functions shortly. I just want to move up here first because I want to show you the tachograph. And over here, this is where the radio is and your CD players. But I would prefer if they were down on the dashboard. You have your USB connection there and auxiliary input. And this is a sunshade, your sun visor. So if I get that down, you see the little gap here? You can fill it in with this little plastic piece. It would be nice if this was a bit longer too, but nevertheless, it's good to have it, just to fill in that gap. One small issue I have here, right? If you were charging up your phone, that is my phone, it just doesn't fit in there. So if you're charging it with the USB, that might just fall out, and it won't fit in there either. So a bit of a rethink needed there, I think, from Renault. But anyway, I'm going to sit into the driver's seat. We do have armrests there, one at either side, and also the red seat belts are pretty neat piece of design. It's a fully functioning seat, so lumbar support, and it's also heated and cooled. So yeah, very nice seats from Recaro, as I said. But yeah, let's sit in here and go down through all these functions. So I'm just going to turn on the ignition here and give you a look at this fabulous display here from Renault. So nicely done here. This 7-inch LCD screen is fantastic. Really is crystal clear. I'm just going to start the engine there, roll down the window and give a couple of blips of the accelerator and give you a sound of the engine. There you have it. Okay, I'm just going to knock it back off. Before I go down through that display, I just want to show you some of the gauges. So we have digital format here for our speedometer, and we have our fuel gauge, we have our AdBlue gauge, air pressure, and our engine temperature gauge, and our rev counter. Okay, in the middle here, this 7-inch LCD. Let's have a look at this. So rolling down, we have our night heater. We can turn that on or off or set it for different hours and days of the week. We have the alarm clock. We can monitor our fuel consumption, and up there for our differential lock. And this is for your tire air pressure sensors. So yeah, you can monitor your pressure sensors for your tires. So great to have that in a truck. So yeah, I'm impressed with that. Now let's just roll back out of that, and I'm going to go into settings. So we have sound, language, time and date, various functions in your settings. Now let's roll back out of that and go into drive. So we have our trip computer, tachograph log, tire pressure, and over here we have, let me just go back over to truck, and we have maintenance, diagnostic, auto test, climate control, and yeah, you could play with it for hours. And we have comfort there, rain sensing wipers, so we can enable or disable them for your windscreen, for your automatic rain sensing wipers. So yeah, I really like that display. I think it's a top job here from Renault in the T High range. Now we have adaptive cruise control, would you believe, which is great. And we can up and down through our speed from a little switch in at the back of the steering wheel. Over here for our phone functions, and up and down through our display as I showed you there. That's all operated from these switches, and also a switch in at the back for rolling up and down. But yeah, this is your stereo function control, up and down through your different tracks, and volume in at the back for your stereo. Now this is your gear selector lever. So we have forward there, and we have back for reverse, and we have up there for manual mode, and up for automatic mode, and up there through your gears, and down through your gears. So that's all very easy to operate with your gear selector there, the 12-speed OptiDriver gearbox. And we have a lighting function there, and that is for your steering column, for adjusting that. And this is for a light switch on your roof. Okay, that is your ventilation there. Big door grab handle. This is for your mirrors, for adjusting them electrically, both left and right. This is your window there for getting it up and down automatically. I do like that. Very easy. And also operates for the passenger side. Now look at this. The quite loud air horn there in the T High. That will wake up a lot of people. And we have an electronic handbrake there. You can push it to release it, and we have you can pull it there to turn it on. And more vents there. But this is your speed mode here, so we can limit our speed and do our adaptive cruise control. We have lane departure warning, and we have our emergency brake assist. These are all great features to have on trucks now. And your air conditioning there, as I said. But look, this is very easy to operate, isn't it? The way that it's laid out here, it's so easy and clear. But here we have a function there I showed you already for the sunroof. We can turn on and off our reversing buzzer. And here we can operate our retarder switch. And that is for locking the doors. We have our trailer brake switch here. Now this will operate at speeds below 4 kilometers. But if you go above 7 kilometers, it won't operate. That is your trailer brake. And this is your hill start aid. This is your anti-slip regulation switch. And this is your lift up axle load shedding control switch. So that is what that's for. And we have our mid lift function there. So yeah, I do like the display. It is nicely and easily laid out, and easy to find everything. But look at this, we have a 12-volt socket there, and we have our cigarette lighter and a 24-volt socket, and more storage in that little container and underneath here. And we have this little drawer, and look in here, we have a remote control for our bed. If we're lying on our bed, we can operate the stereo control. Now in another truck, there is another feature where you can operate the windows as well, but this one just has the stereo control functions. But very handy to have that. But yeah, that is pretty much all the controls on the T High range from Renault. And that flat floor, of course, absolutely fabulous to have that. To be able to walk across the cab is always a great thing to do in a truck. But yeah, the red seat belts there looking pretty neat. Okay, I think it's time to get hooked underneath that trailer and hit the road. Okay, let's head off in the T High. So yeah, the gearbox is very smooth in changing gear, but it is a single plate clutch, so it won't be changing gear all that fast. The dual clutch gearbox in the Volvos will change faster, but it's not too bad, the gear change in the T High Renault. So as I said already, we have 473 horsepower from the 12.8 litre straight 6-cylinder diesel engine. So we should have decent enough power here. It develops 2,400 Newton meters of torque, and the power band is between 950 RPM and 1404 RPM. So you can just hear it changing gear now. Let me just get it up another gear. Yeah, so it wouldn't be the quickest, probably around the same amount of speed as the old R series Scania with the OptiCruise gearbox, around the same speed changing gear, but it's still performing very well now, and the sound levels in the cab are quite low, so that is good. And we do have electronic stability control in this T High range. So the cab pitch, how is that? Yeah, it's pretty well controlled, the cab pitch. And I'll just show you the retarder later on when we get out onto the dual carriageway. But yeah, she's changing down gear nicely there. Coming up to the roundabout and down into 6th gear. Now we don't have a lot of weight on this trailer. We only have about 5 ton. But yeah, so an easy test for the T High today. So let's just get it up to 80 kilometers and we can see what it is revving in at in the rev counter. So yeah, just going around that bend there, that was quite well controlled. So yeah, I'm just going to get it up to 80 kilometers now, and I can use my cruise control just by switching that on and setting it up to speed, and we'll set it there to 80 kilometers. So I have the limiter set there at 80 kilometers, so very handy to have that. And we can set our cruise control and our adaptive cruise control, and you can see it's revving in there at just 1100 RPM. So you should expect good fuel consumption from this engine. And we just have a Scania P series passing us out there. I'll just slow it down a bit and let him past. So yeah, it is performing quite well. The wind noise levels are quite low around that A pillar. They're not too bad. That is a horse truck there for carrying horses. But yeah, now if I did set my adaptive cruise control, I could set it to the speed to stay in the same distance with this truck. But I'll just leave it at 80 kilometers and I let him drive off. But yeah, you could set it there if you wanted with your different speeds for your adaptive cruise control. But yeah, when I come off the motorway here, I'm just going to slow down to a roundabout and we'll turn on the retarder. Now it is a 2-stage with a final stage for maximum slowing down efficiency. So once we come off the motorway, we'll show you how that works. Now you can get a retarder system called Voith, V-O-I-T-H, and that is an even stronger retarder than what's fitted to this truck. So it will slow you down even more. So that system is very good for, say, long hauls with fully laden trucks, because these retarders can develop an awful lot of heat when they're slowing down the truck. So if you are doing journeys like that very, very often, you should get the Voith system to slow you down with more stopping power. So yeah, we're just going to slow down here now with the retarder, and it's also using our gearbox to go down through the gears just to get us at the maximum revs for the most efficient stopping power with the retarder. So I can press it again, and you can see it goes down through the gears just to get the revs at the proper speed. Yeah, so the retarder slowing us down very well up to that roundabout. So it's called OptiBrake Plus. So it's a combination of exhaust brake and valve compression brake coupled to the service brake. So we're just setting up the hill here. I'm just leaving it in fully automatic mode, and yeah, it's coping quite well with this nice light load, of course. So let's get it back up to speed here and get back out onto the motorway. So it is quite comfortable, even though the back axle is on 2 airbags and the mid-lift is also on airbags. So of course it would be even more comfortable with 4 airbags, as I said, on the back axle, but it's still not too bad here. Now the front axle is not on air, so you can opt for that if you want, to get even more comfort from your front axle. But yeah, driving here now, very nice. Now it would be good to have more adjustment on the steering wheel. So it is kind of forward a bit. It would be nice to have more adjustment back towards me. So that could do with improving. And it's also the same in the T range from Renault as well. The steering wheel just needs more tilt adjustment. So yeah, quite like this. The seats are fantastic. Really like them. And the visibility out of here is pretty good as well. But yeah, I would be happy enough to drive this truck every day and do long haul. With this big spacious cabin, it really is, it would be a joy to drive, alright. But yeah, quite liking it here today. So I'm just going to turn on the lights because it is getting a bit dark at the moment. The light is settling low, and we just have a plane there landing at the moment. So yeah, I'll just come up off the motorway now, and I'll just press the exhaust brake again. Just give you a look at that, see how it performs in slowing us down right up to that roundabout. So it all depends what sort of engine you want in your T High range. You can get numerous different engine power outputs, but this 480 horsepower, 473, is a good combination between power and economy. Anything around 450 horsepower, 480 horsepower, it's a good all-around truck to have if you're not hauling heavy loads all the time. But yeah, we're just going to slow up to the roundabout here. Now the hill, we'll barely have to use our brakes. Now the gearbox is slowing down automatically. Look at this. I'm still not using my brake. I'm not even using the exhaust brake yet, or the retarder. So there you have it. Really easy, just pressing the brake pedal, and you can really save on your brake wear and of course tire wear using your retarder as much as possible. So just going up through the gears again. Yeah, it is smooth at changing up gear, and we're going to hit a couple of bumps here now. Let's see how it performs. Yeah, that's pretty good. Again, yeah, just a bit bumpy there on that bridge over the roundabout. So yeah, those low profile tires will keep the cab a small bit lower, but yeah, it's a nice performing truck, the T High range from Renault. Okay, I'm just gonna drive back to base now and wrap up today's video. So parked back up here, I decided to wait around and wait for it to get dark so I can show you all the lights at night. So one more feature here inside the cab, look, we have a little sunshade there, very handy on the driver's side. And I'm just going to hop out now and we can see those lights. Very easy to do with the 4 steps. And see those interior lights, look how bright they are at night. And I'll show you the remote control. We have a remote control for the back axle. just for rising and lowering the back on the axle there. Very handy with that remote. And also up here we have an area there for storing your fire extinguisher here, and also one on the other side. So look at the lights there at night on the steps. They do look well, very well lit up. And let's just close the door on the T480. So if you want any more information on this truck, just go to Renault Trucks on the Long Mile Road in Dublin, and a huge thanks to them for supplying this truck for the video. But look at the T High sign up on the roof there. It does look well, and all the lights on the bumper, and yeah, I like that. So yeah, as an overall truck, this T480 should not be overlooked. I mean, the competition at the moment in the flat floor range is fierce at the moment, but this truck should not be overlooked, definitely not. And 2,400 Newton meters of torque is pretty much good as an overall truck if you're pulling overall average weights. But yeah, if you're pulling heavy weights, maybe just go for a more powerful T High from Renault. But I quite like that truck. And it is still comfortable, even though it's not on air at the front axle and just 2 airbags on the back axle. And of course the mid-lift is also has 2 airbags. Yeah, so that's it guys, I'm going to wrap it up today. A huge thanks to you all for watching the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll chat to you all again next weekend for another video. So until then, take care and thanks for watching. Cheers! Show you there. Oh god, that's not gonna work. Or inside the cab. So yeah, we'll check all around this cab today. We'll have a look at the whole